Hey neighbor, time for another installment of I Got It Wrong, the series where I admit fault, bias, or maybe just a change of heart that didn't allow me to see an album for what it was when I reviewed it originally. Today we're digging into the 2011 record I'm With You by the funk and alternative rock legends Red Hot Chili Peppers, their first with guitarist Josh Klinghoffer, once again produced by Rick Rubin. I'm With You continues to be polarizing in the fandom. The recording process wasn't entirely a smooth one, as delays plagued the Chili Peppers, and rumors of Josh not having proper chemistry with Chad, Anthony, and Flea began to swirl. I reviewed this so early in my YouTube career that it was bound to be a disaster that went straight over my head, and while I definitely didn't dismiss the album entirely, I really had no clue how to talk about it properly, which is why we're doing this video.
I'm With You, it's not as hard and it doesn't seem like there's attacking the music as much.
I summed up the album as pretty underwhelmingly average and didn't get much pushback on that. One, because I barely had anyone watching me in 2011, but two, many of the fans still passed this off as the band killing time until John Frusciante came back, which just isn't fair.
I'm not terribly impressed with the 5-year wait, and this is the result. 14 songs, probably 6 of them are ones that are gonna be played.
6 songs! That's all my attention span could muster at age 19, I guess. But at the same time, I do get where the criticism comes from. The production struggles to find the proper balance to allow their new guitarist to shine, and at a passing glance, it can all feel really undercooked. Revisiting I'm With You might take you by surprise. The ebb and flow of the track list is really strong, and the more mellowed out alt-rock flavor lining the walls sounds pretty aces when the production work leans the right way. Rick and Josh butted heads in the studio, and it definitely shows. I hate that it went down that way, but Rick wasn't playing fair, and as a result, Josh feels a little bit more limited and muted, which isn't his fault, because if you actually listen to the details, the pristine work and the guitar lines that he's laying down are there, it's just clipped at the heels thanks to the mix being way too low for the guitar. Even based on the songs I have heard from the I'm Beside You sessions, it's so much cleaner and more refined and more palatable. And speaking of I'm Beside You, if you want to see me react to that full compilation on camera for the first time ever because I've never heard it in full, get this video to 1,000 likes and I promise I'll make it happen. The funky soul of the Chili Peppers didn't disappear completely like some would lead you to believe. In fact, I'm With You charges out of the gate with some pummeling bass lines and shrieking guitars that nail a massive energy spike on the first 2 tracks alone. Walk the tightrope. You're trying to run, but just walk. Sink in and find your zen. That's the motto crying out of the album's every pore. So the more patient you are with it, the deeper the groove cuts into your subconscious, meaning the music actually gets a chance to permanently attach itself to your mind. Initially, I viewed this album as half background noise, half bangers.
It's a good album, but it's not an epic album.
But times change. I got older, maybe wiser, at least that's what I'd like to think. But either way, I realized through the years that I was coming back to way more of the songs than I ever would have initially imagined, including deep cuts like Goodbye Hooray and Ethiopia. Nuanced musicianship slips noticeably in the final leg of the track list, starting somewhere around the chirpy misfire Happiness Loves Company, but it's more of like a fender bender holding up one-way traffic instead of a head-on collision totaling the entire car. One of the most impressive accomplishments is how comfortable and confident they feel in their new skin. The Red Hot Chili Peppers never sound like they don't know what to do or how to move forward without John. It's a little uneven, for sure, but each of the 4 members stays steadily driving the screws back in so as to never let I'm With You slip through the cracks. Monarchy of Roses comes out swinging, because while this song does start off a bit more subdued, the guitar, the funk, the bass absolutely unleashes, and I love what Kiedis did, both lyrically and vocally, and that definitely carries over to Factory of Faith. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Brendan's Death Song is one of the finest, most elegant, and emotional Chili Peppers songs of all time. When the band lost another longtime friend, they decided to memorialize his life in a song. And there is so much beauty here, this absolutely feels like a proper send-off. Marching in the streets, loud vocals, the ending of this song is so climactic, the payoff is unreal, the backing vocals, the drumming, everything about it is layered expertly. Magic is in the air, and Kiedis writing from a different perspective on Annie Wants a Baby with the musicianship to back it up. This song goes off like a live wire, and I think the chorus is one of the strongest, and people kind of underrate the backing vocals that Josh lends here, because while there are so many incredible aspects to the track, his backing vocals absolutely make that chorus sail. Yeah, fuck it, let's talk about the lead single from the album, The Adventures of Raindance Maggie. This was the first song that they put out with Josh being permanently in the band as their lead guitarist, and while a lot of people felt slightly underwhelmed, it's definitely gone down a bit more positive in retrospect. Buttery bass rolls into smooth storytelling from Kiedis, and I like the fact that everybody seems very all hands on deck involved with this track, because it definitely doesn't sound like the Red Hot Chili Peppers in a traditional sense, but it also does in the same breath, which can be confusing, but I love that they were anchoring themselves to a new era, saying, hey, come with us, because we're still the same band, but we have some new ideas, and this feels really fresh still. Choppy, sizzling guitars with a flame of inertia behind them really kick off Goodbye Hooray. This is definitely one of the best deep cuts on the album, and I don't see enough people talking about it. One thing I haven't mentioned up to this point is the use of pianos on I'm With You, and while it is even more prominent, I would say, with that and the synthesizers used on The Getaway, the next album with Josh, I feel that they're definitely very strong. They bring out some crevices that you don't really see coming, and Goodbye Hooray, with them being in the background, them being so prominent, especially on the chorus, it really makes the song take that next leap of faith, and it was nice to see them getting more expansive with the sound. Meet Me at the Quarter floats like a feather as it slowly falls back down to earth. I love the watery guitar sounds that are conjured here. And then on Dance Dance Dance, the finale for the album, I love the pepper hits of the drum and the fact that it does feel very groovable. It makes you want to move, but it also simmers. It never tries to push and do too much with its sound. So we've got an interesting one on our hands when it comes to scoring I'm With You. While I said 80% in my 2011 review, I found my old notebook where I wrote down 65%.
I may listen to the album 5 more times or 10 more times and then be like, oh my gosh, this album is a 93%.
Clearly I had no idea what I was doing. I was putting way too much emphasis on the number, and I was kind of terrified of the Chili Peppers fans, which is just so dumb in hindsight. I'm With You goes from a 65%, roughly a 3 out of 5 on my current scale that I use, to now a strong 4. What do you guys think of this Chili Peppers record? Do you see the Klinghoffer era a little bit differently now that Frusciante's back? Take to the comments, let me know, and while you're down there, hit that like button if you want to see me react to I'm Beside You. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.